This is William K. Murtaugh, Mert Witness 1, and today I would like to discuss Terrified Timmy. Now, there have been some rather interesting developments over the past few weeks regarding the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force, Timothy Charles Holmeseth, Randy Lynn Erickson, Preacher Dan, Kirk Prendergrass, and so forth. Now, it has become known that process servers have been trying to contact and locate Randy Lynn Erickson and Timothy Charles Holmeseth. And the purpose of these process servers is to give notice that legal action is being taken against the two of them by a number of individuals. Primary amongst this, or I should say prominent amongst these people, is Craig Sawyer out of Arizona. Craig Sawyer, in a number of videos, has claimed that he is pursuing a lawsuit against Mr. Holmeseth on the heels of another lawsuit that he brought against Preacher Dan, and he prevailed in that lawsuit to the tune of $4.6 million to be spread among several of the plaintiffs in that lawsuit. And now he has set his sights on Timothy Charles Holmeseth and Randy Lynn Erickson. And there was documentation that the local county sheriff, where Randy Lynn Erickson used to live, attempted to serve the summons and was unable to do so because Randy Lynn Erickson is not there. And according to her husband, she has not been there since September of last year. Now, over the past several weeks, there have been pictures, videos of Mr. Holmeseth holding up his book in front of the sign of the city limits of Delphi, Indiana, courthouse in Indiana, and another courthouse in another part of Indiana. And more recently, an image of Mr. Holmeseth has been shown in the location of Attorney Lynn Wood's residence. Now, it would seem rather interesting for someone who claims to be constantly having his life threatened that he is able to wander around, go out in public, and hold up his little book. You know, and not have any car or any of that. The next development was that Mr. Holmeseth and his handler made claims that they were going to be at a rally in Wisconsin. Of course, they never showed up. And they claimed that, oh no, we didn't go there. Another girl went there and she handed out Timmy's books plus a whole bunch of electronic devices that were supposed to hold evidence of everybody's wrongdoing. The problem is, nobody saw him there. This was not an unusually large gathering, and it should have been easy to spot either one of these two if they had bothered to show up. And they admitted that they had not, even though the function was free and it was in a state where they would not have to worry about any criminal action by law enforcement. They would not be arrested because there's no warrant for Holmeseth's arrest in the state of Wisconsin. It's only in the state of Minnesota. So, as far as one can tell, the little sightseeing trip of these two individuals has come to somewhat of a halt. They have not been seen lately in front of courthouses or houses or buildings waving around the little book. Things have been relatively quiet. When we have this ongoing propaganda campaign that Mr. Holmeseth is on assignment, that generals are being talked to, that everybody who is on Mr. Holmeseth's shit list is going to get arrested. And in the latest bunch of nonsense, there is a call for the U.S. Marshals to arrest Craig Sawyer. And of course, that's not going anywhere. It's just creating more evidence for Craig Sawyer to use in his legal action against Randy Lynn Erickson, owner and publisher of TimothyCharlesHolmeseth.com, and Timothy Charles Holmeseth himself. Now, as a businesswoman, one would think that Lynn Erickson, Randy Lynn Erickson, would have thought about the fact that by taking ownership of TimothyCharlesHolmeseth.com, that she is assuming all legal liability for everything that is published on that website and on the Big Shoot channel that she controls, and the YouTube channel called the High Command. It's all part of the same media empire. And every word, every action, every video that is put on all these various sites create additional liability for Mrs. Erickson and Mr. Holmeseth. And that is why they are on the run. It has nothing to do with his criminal charges because he's not in the state of Minnesota. It's because they are avoiding the process service, trying to track them down and get them to be held accountable for their actions. Now, one would think that if Timothy Charles Holmeseth was correct in what he is stating on social media and what Randy Lynn Erickson is stating on his behalf on social media, that they would welcome the chance to come into a public forum such as open court to air their grievances in this lawsuit. Just because one is being sued doesn't mean that their right to defend themselves is being silenced. It, in fact, is the opposite. These people would be given a unique opportunity to have people under oath, such as Mr. Sawyer, and those they feel is part of whatever it is he's doing, to testify in open court about the charges that Tim Holmeseth and Randy Erickson are lodging against them. Strangely enough, however, neither one of these individuals is willing to do that. Instead, they are running away. Now, at one point, Randy Erickson threatened a lawsuit against those that she declared were slandering Mr. Holmeseth. But again, that would require Randy Lynn Erickson and Tim Holmeseth to file these proceedings from wherever it is that they legally reside. They would have to tell the court, this is where we live, this is the jurisdiction that has control over our case that we are filing against these other individuals. Either that, or in the other circumstances, they may have to file action in the states where some people live. But they're not doing that. There's no lawsuit pending against anyone coming out of Randy Erickson or Tim Holmeseth. It is all, for the most part, coming out of Craig Sawyer and other interested parties. And hence this ongoing effort to avoid process service. And apparently, they have the financial means to be able to do this. They have the money to be able to run around the country and avoid this accountability. And they're going to avoid it indefinitely, apparently. Now, the next step in all this is going to be criminal charges. There are a number of criminal charges that these individuals face. Craig Sawyer is declaring that he will be filing criminal charges. And other individuals have also indicated that they are moving towards filing criminal charges against these two individuals and likely more. And so at this point, we are left at a bit of a stalemate. People want justice, but people are being denied justice because of the actions of Timothy Charles Holmeseth and Randy Lynn Erickson. They are hiding like the cowards that they are, doing their slander and defamation from their secret locations, using social media accounts that don't give a damn about the truth. And we are all left to have to repair the damage being directed towards us on a daily basis. There doesn't seem to be anything at this point that can be done except counter their lies with the truth, go on our individual social media accounts, our blogs, and so forth, and defend ourselves against this constant gaslighting by these two individuals. These individuals who constantly lie about us, make false accusations against us, and basically create unnecessary stress upon all of us because they simply cannot mind their own business. And so we wait to see what the next chapter of this little saga is going to be. Please like, subscribe, click the share button, and stay tuned to see what's going to happen next. This is William K. Murtaugh, Mark Witness 1. Have a good one.